Page 10 of 15, adding music. To improve the atmosphere, we are going to add background music to the game. Click again on the button to add sound. In the form, give the sound an appropriate name and press the load sound button. So this one is SND for sound underscore music. Click on the load sound. You should still be in the folder with the sounds for the tutorial. Select the music.mid. This is a MIDI file. These are useful as background music as they are rather small. Many can be found on the internet. Press OK to close the sound form. Now we need to make sure that the sound will play at the beginning of the game and loop forever. We are going to use an additional object for it. Press the button with the blue ball to add a new object and give it the appropriate name. So I'm going to click on this one here for create an object. And I'm going to name this one music. Now we want to make sure the sound will play. Oops, I already did that. Click on the Add Event button and select Create Event. At the right, select the Main tab 1 and drag the Play Sound action into the action list. As a sound, select the music and set to loop as true. So here I'm going to click on the music, because this is the background music, and for loop we want to set this to true. So the music will now play forever after the object is created. Press OK to close the action form, and again press OK to close the object form. We still need to add the object to the room, otherwise it won't be created. In the list at the left, double click on the room to reopen its form. So I'm going to double click on the room. Make sure the objects page is visible at the left, so it's selecting the objects tab. So I'm going to click on the menu icon here, and I'm going to select the music. Now you'll notice that it doesn't have a sprite associated with it, and that is correct. Now click somewhere on the room to add an instance of the object. So if you look in the picture, they have it in the top left corner, so I can go ahead and add it there. The object has no sprite, so a little blue ball with a question mark is shown instead. Be careful to only add one instance of the music object. Press the green checkbox to close the room form. Save. And now we can run the game to check our music and sound. Okay, so everything looks to be working properly. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. More fruit. Let us now add some variations to the game by including other types of fruit. Because the steps are the same as before, we only describe the global details. The sprites for the fruit are already there, so we don't need to add them anymore. Now, it says to, I'm actually going to read this, but I'm going to show you an easier way to do it. Add a new object, click on the blue ball, give it an appropriate name, and give it to the banana sprite. This one is going to be a bit more difficult to click on. Add the create event, so on and so forth. Down here, in the same way we add an object for the cherry. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to scan my mouse over the apple object. I'm going to right click and I'm going to select duplicate. Now I don't want this to look like an apple, I want it to look like a banana. So over here where it says object, I'm going to rename this one banana. Now everything is going to be the same except for we can possibly have it move a little bit faster. So for the banana you can always try 10 and then click on OK. We still want it to bounce against the wall. Because this one's going a little bit faster, it's going to be a little bit harder, so you want to reward the player with a little bit of a higher score. So if we double click on set the score relative to 50, you can always bump this up an extra 25 and do 75 points. And again, click on relative and OK. So we've already created the object banana, so now we can click on OK. Now we also want to add, what else? We want the cherry and the strawberry, so we can do the same thing as we did with those. So we can right click banana, duplicate it, change the image to the cherry, name this one obj underscore cherry. We can make this one move even faster, so maybe a speed of 12. And for the score, we can possibly make this one 100 points. And click on OK. This is a lot easier than going through and recreating everything. We're just making copies. So the last one is going to be the strawberry. So I'm going to duplicate the cherry, name this one obj underscore strawberry, change the image to a strawberry, make the speed a little bit faster. We can make this one worth a little bit more, and then from here we can go ahead and click on OK. Now what we want to do is we actually want to add some of those new fruit into the room. So down here we can select, let's say, the banana. We can add maybe 3 or 4 of those. We can click on cherry and maybe add a few cherries. And we can also add a few strawberries. So when you're done with this, click on the green check mark, save, and now we can try running this. Okay, so if you look at my score, you'll see I have a score of 175. Okay, so we can see that that is working so far. Clicking on next. Okay, this one's a little tricky, so bear with me. Page 12 of 15, adding bombs. Although the game can already be fun to play, there is something missing. You cannot lose. You can just keep clicking randomly, which is not really much fun. Hence, we are going to add bombs to the game. If you click on a bomb, you will lose and the game will end. Bombs will be static. They won't move, but their number keeps increasing to make the game more and more difficult over time. The bomb sprite is already present, but we still need a sound effect for it. Press the button with the speaker to add a sound. Give it the appropriate name, which we can do explosion, FNT, explosion. Click on load sound and double click on explosion.wav. Press OK. Now create the bomb object by clicking on the blue ball button. Give the object an appropriate name and the bomb sprite. So obj underscore bomb. And we want to give it the appropriate sprite, which is the picture of the sprite. We want the bomb to appear in a random place. To this end, add the create event. So add create. In it, place the action to jump to a random location. So when it's created, it's going to jump to a random location. When the user clicks on it, we want the game to end. So add the mouse event. So here we want to click on mouse and left pressed. As a first action, we want to play the explode sound. So add the play sound action. So we're going to click on main tab 1. We're going to add the speaker. We are going to click on the explosion, and we do not want it to loop, so we're going to keep it as false and then click on OK. Next, we want to wait a little while to let the player realize he lost. From main tab 2, add the sleep action, which it has the ZZZ, and place it below the play sound action. The default values are fine, so press on OK. As a next step, we want to show a high score list. This is very easy in GameMaker. From the Score tab, drag the Show High Score action. It has the 1, 2, 3. In the form, you can, sorry, I lost my place. You can set quite some values. As a background, you can choose the wood background. You can also change the color and the font if you would like, for example, as follow. So we can keep that as red, and if you want, you can change this as blue, or you can get creative and choose your own colors. As a final step, we need the action to restart the game, which can be found, from here, click on OK. That can be found in Main tab 2. So if we click on Main tab 2, we want to look for the underneath game. It's got the 2 green arrows circling around each other. So we're going to click, drag, and drop that in here and restart the game. Make sure the order of the action is correct. That finishes the bomb action, so press the OK button to close the form. To test the game, place 1 or 2 bomb objects in the room. So we're going to click on the room, go over to OBJ, add bomb. We're going to add a couple bombs. Click on the green check mark, save. Alright, so we are going to run. Okay, so we see the 2 bombs. Okay, so we can see that if we hit one of the bombs that it will do as we programmed it to do, which is play the sound, wait 1000 milliseconds, show the high score, and then restart the game. Good.